and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wyld. Today we are talking about just because it's red don't mean you're gonna get orders. DoorDash driver shares PSA about the app's Hotspots. So as we all know, whenever you're driving on DoorDash, there are two things that'll allow you to get a general idea about where to get quality orders, and that is heat maps and hotspots. And while sometimes it does actually have quality orders, in the large majority of cases it does not, and this DoorDash driver is exposing the truth about that. So with that said, I want to go over everything that's being said in this article, how it actually is for DoorDash drivers, the platform itself, the intentions of the company itself, and everything in between. So with that said, let's get started. A DoorDash driver is calling into question the platform's hotspot feature, suggesting it misleads workers into thinking they have a higher chance of securing a delivery order when they actually do not. Which is true. It does add a certain level of guide, but the fact of the matter is, by the time it actually does update, it doesn't actually provide enough details in order for you to get an idea if you're actually going to get that order. And in order for you to get a better understanding of the hotspots, I actually made a video talking all about that. I will leave that in the description. Feel free to check that out. In her TikTok, DoorDash delivery driver Chelsea Joe at Finnandquinn showed a map in her DoorDash app.
I'm your local dasher and I'm here to help you. Now, when you see that area turn red, and it's supposed to tell you that that means it's busy, right? It's supposed to mean that you're going to get more orders.
I'm going to leave her TikTok as well as her profile in the description so you can develop your own opinions on the subject. And here's the reality. When you're not online, you're not in the middle of a dash, what it's going to show you is either one of four screens. Gray, as in no one can go in. Pink, and no other narration, meaning that there's availability and go in. But that doesn't mean that it's busy. It just means that you can go in. Busy, which is, all right, there's a lot of orders that are not being taken, whether it's good or bad orders. There's a lot of orders not being taken, and you can actually enter the area if you want to. And finally, very busy, as in there are a lot of orders that are not being taken, and regardless of whether they're good or not, you can enter the area if you want to. Now, I don't suggest you necessarily go into that area simply because it says very busy, but I think that if you're going to be online anyway, go for it. I don't think you should dictate your decisions on whether you should be online or not based on that heat map. You should base your intentions on being online or not on the idea that you actually want to be online, if that makes sense.
That is a bull lie, and let me tell you why. Here's an example.
Chelsea selects a hotspot area, then clicks, "Why am I not getting orders?" A notification pops up on the screen stating, "It's in your area, it's slow. If you're not getting delivery opportunities, try navigating to a hotspot to increase your chances of getting an order."
It's gonna tell me it's slow. It's always gonna tell me it's slow. Why would it do that if my area was red? That's supposed to mean busy, right?
That little help thing doesn't actually tell you whether or not it's actually busy. It literally is just to appease you in the idea of, why am I not getting orders? You're not getting orders because they're not prioritizing you for orders. That's number one. They don't want to tell you that's about your priority level, but that's the truth. And number two, just because you're online doesn't mean you're gonna get orders. You know what I mean? It means it's a lot of orders not being taken near you. That doesn't necessarily mean they're good. Maybe they're a bunch of 250, 10-mile orders. Maybe they're a bunch of orders that are really in one place that's not being taken, but instead they say it's very busy, but it's really not. Or maybe it's a slow day and a lot of the people that are online just dipped and said, you know what, screw this. I'm gonna go to a different area that's hopefully a little busier. And that's what they're going to do. She then shared a theory as to why DoorDash makes certain areas red.
When your area turns red, that means there's not enough dashers on the road for what DoorDash wants. They want a certain amount of dashers on the road. They will turn it red when there's not enough dashers that they think should be available at that time. So just because it's red, don't mean you're gonna get orders.
And that's factually accurate. Just because it's red doesn't mean that you're gonna get orders. A number of viewers said they had similar experience while delivering for DoorDash, while others speculated there are other reasons why Chelsea isn't seeing any available orders in the hotspot zone. Hotspots are the devil. Avoid. If one lands on you, move. Instead, make your own hotspot. Get on the consumer app, figure out which restaurants are doing, trade where you want to work, and position yourself there, one viewer suggests. Ooh, that's really good advice, actually. You see, hotspots, while they do have a certain amount of guide to them, and I will hand them that. The fact of the matter is, that guy, they only refresh every 10 minutes. So every 10 minutes is going to be a different restaurant. And just because it seems like that area is good in the moment doesn't mean it's going to be good during the duration of that 10 minutes. And also, just because it is a hotspot doesn't mean it's a hotspot with good orders. It just means it's a hotspot. If it's a Taco Bell that's on fire, that doesn't mean that there's a bunch of tipping customers at Taco Bell. It means that there's a lot of orders not taken at Taco Bell. And making your own hotspot, get the consumer app, get an idea of not only which people are ordering where, but where are the tipping customers going. It's not just about where they're ordering from, it's about where they're tipping. I don't want to work with just anybody. I want to work with quality customers that are going to pay well. In a Reddit post, user VaxRed and Please Don't Breed said they were a new Dasher, and despite waiting in a hotspot area for 20 minutes, they didn't receive any offers to make deliveries during that time. Because hotspots are almost like a moth to a flame. If we are the moths and the hotspots are the moths are going to surround the area in which the flame is lit. And then when the flame is lit in another area, they're going to migrate over there. The fact of the matter is, you never want to chase hotspots. You want to identify the best areas in which you can receive orders and kind of just camp there. So true. I hate it when DD says it's busy or very busy and then not one order comes through for hours, another TikToker said. Yeah, it's really misleading. It means that there's a deficiency in some area, whether it's the amount of drivers on the road or there's an abundance of orders that are not being taken. And again, just because there's an abundance of orders doesn't mean they're good orders. There are different shades of red, and it ranges from not so busy to very busy, another viewer said, offering up various explanations as to why the hotspot wasn't hotspotting for Chelsea. Yeah, like I said, another speculated that the reason she wasn't getting any orders had to do with the frequency at which she turns down orders. You aren't getting orders because your acceptance rate is so low, WTF, they speculated. There is so many people that are all over the concept of having a high acceptance rate and making that matter for them. I am a personal believer that that is not necessarily the case, although momentum is going to be important. DoorDash likes to keep busy drivers busy. So if you're accepting an order and then you get another order on top of that and you get another order on top of that and you just kind of keep getting orders and you're on a roll, that's going to make you a lot more money than just having a high acceptance rate, which is why momentum is going to be more important than multi-apping. So if you're on a roll with DoorDash, stick with DoorDash. Same goes for UberEats and Grubhub. If you're on a roll with them, stick with them because they're just going to keep feeding you. You know what I'm saying? My acceptance rate is at 85%. I see a major difference in the pay, another driver said. You know what? Some people are going to argue this to the end of time. Some people are just pretending to be drivers and maybe they're part of the company, maybe they're not. But the fact of the matter is that 99% of the time I will still believe in the Pareto principle that 80% of the money is going to be in 20% of the orders. And I'm a firm believer in cherry picking. I don't take orders that don't make sense to take. According to Exile Driver, there are 3 general reasons as to why DoorDash drivers aren't receiving orders despite making themselves available to do so in a hotspot area. The first is that the DoorDash app is glitching and isn't correctly pinging a driver's phone coordinates that would place them in the hotspot area. The outlet recommended either waiting 5 minutes or closing and reopening the app to refresh it. Even resetting location permissions in the settings could be helpful. Okay, I haven't tried resetting location permissions, but I have tried just flat out refreshing the app, and that has helped in a lot of cases. It also helps combat ghost orders where they send you an order, but they don't tell you that you got the order or anything like that. That actually helps a lot. And in terms of the app glitching, if the app's glitching out, it's not surprising. Just hop off for a while until they fix their crap. There are other apps you could work on in the meantime. The outlet stated the DoorDash hotspots are predictions and not necessarily 100% accurate, which could be another reason why Chelsea and others aren't seeing any order action. They're not necessarily predictions. They're based on what happened during the past 10 minutes and how many outstanding orders there are. If there are no outstanding orders during that period of time, there's no hotspots to create. if that makes sense. Which is why if you log in the early morning and you see the hotspot in a weird default area, that's just kind of the default hotspot, you know what I'm saying? The last reason is that the orders in the hotspots are currently being gobbled up by other DoorDash drivers, and whoever isn't getting them isn't being given priority through the app to complete said orders. And obviously there are ways to increase your priority, being momentum and having access to those higher programs, such as the large order program or even the Dasher rewards program if you really want to. Top Dasher, high pay order program. If that's what you want to do, go for it. No judgment either way. That kind of priority is not necessary. I am still a firm believer in cherry picking regardless. This is my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. Nothing you pay me. There you go. Hotspots are similar to peak pay. They're nice to have, but they're not necessarily something you should chase. Hotspots and heat maps are like a flame for moths. Like, all you are going to do is just bring all the drivers into that area. Should you operate that way? No. What you should do is identify the best possible areas in your market based on not just where people are ordering through the consumer app, which is actually important that you have that downloaded, but also where are your tipping customers going? Where are the customers that don't give you problems? What is the parking actually like? What areas have higher quality customers? It's not just about the orders you take, it's who's making them. You don't want to just accept whatever the company throws at you. You want to accept the best possible orders to maintain your overall account safety. That'll also protect you from contract violations, bad ratings, wrongful deactivations from customers reporting bad things on you. It's actually more important for you to do the research in your own area, so that way you can make the most amount of money in the least amount of time while working with the best possible customers and working with the best possible merchants. Now, that also said, you also got to make sure that the merchants are actually working with you and not just putting you on the back burner. Yesterday, I ended up working with a sushi place over here, and usually they're very good. But in this case, they had me sit there for 25 minutes, and they didn't even let me know that they didn't start the order. That was offensive, wrong, and irresponsible of them as a restaurant to actually choose to operate that way. So don't just be selective with the customers you take, but the merchants you work with as well. And not to mention, the company is going to display to you hotspots based on the orders that they have, not the quality of the customer. Never learn from gig companies on how to drive for gig companies. The gig companies are going to want you to take more orders, not good orders, so they're going to guide you to restaurants that have orders, not good orders, orders. All in all, just make sure that you're careful of who you're working with, and not just for the intentions of the customers and the merchants and the company, but for your own best interest as well. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!